Rodney Hinton Jr., whose son was shot dead by police, denied bond, and killing of sheriff deputy after disturbance in court. Mr. Man says, need money, just go to the park and call a kid the N-word and get a GoFundMe. Oh, we're going to get to that too, because I think all this is fake. I know I'm a conspiracy theorist. It just doesn't make sense. All of a sudden, everybody has all this money to donate. But I'll get to that. So this case starts with an 18-year-old in a shooting with the police. He didn't shoot. The officer shot him after running from the police. After they said that there were alleged some stealing going on. They went up to a vehicle. 4 people jumped out and started running. They accused him of having a weapon on him. They thought they heard a clinging. They ended up shooting him, and then they found a weapon on the scene. Let me start by saying, we don't know if that weapon is his. There were 3 other people. We know based off the video, he did not point the weapon at anybody, that he was running. So that's besides the point. The initial reaction obviously was, oh, another shooting with police involved, you know. And then very quickly, a news story came right behind it saying that the father of this young man went and killed the police officer. Now, the initial word of mouth was that he killed the police officer that killed his son. That's what everybody thought. And it was like, hey, man, eye for an eye, you know, you killed his son. He reacted a certain way. People started already trying to make cases for him of, oh, that was what do you call it? Does crime of passion fit that? I don't know if that quite fits that situation, if that's only with domestic situations. A temporary insanity, all type of stuff that people trying to use as a possible defense of him, which they still could use possibly. Then we find out that the police officer that he ran over and killed was actually just an off-duty deputy, sheriff deputy, that he had nothing to do with what happened to his son. And so a lot of people say, oh, you just can't, in your anger, go out and just do something silly, because it kind of points to your parenting of possibly what your son was doing. Virginia says, peace, love, and soul train to the Duke in the chat. Shout out, Regina. Happy Mother's Day to everyone. So yeah, initially people were 100% riding with, and people still are. As y'all know, people are starting GoFundMes left and right. People are they're putting so much money on his books that you can't put any more money on his book. It's full. People keep putting money on his books. But let me show this here.
Authorities in Ohio say the man who allegedly rammed his car into a sheriff's deputy, killing him, did so intentionally. The suspect appearing in court today is the father of an 18-year-old killed in an officer-involved shooting on Thursday. The suspect charged with aggravated murder. Here's ABC's Christiane Cordero.
Tonight, authorities say the shooting of an 18-year-old captured on police body cam is connected to the death of an Ohio deputy after that teen's father allegedly hit him with a car a day later. Prosecutors say the attack was calculated and premeditated. Cincinnati PD responding to reports of a stolen Kia at an apartment building Thursday morning. 4 suspects then fleeing police. Among them, 18-year-old Ryan Hinton. Body camera shows Hinton fall as he tries to run away. Police say they heard a metal clinking sound they believe was a gun.
He's got a gun! He's got a gun! On your right! On your right! He's got a gun!
As Hinton emerges from behind a dumpster, authorities say another officer firing 4 or 5 shots.
The officer says that he saw the suspect point the firearm at him.
Yes.
Just 6 seconds pass between.
And see, this is why Clyburn to me is, he don't get enough smoke. I keep bringing it up every time we get a chance. He's the one that took the bullet for Biden to not get rid of qualified immunity out of that police reform bill. The fact that officers lie so often to justify their actions, and then when it's proven to be false and that they lie, there's no real punishment other than some suspension. It's crazy.
When police arrived and gunshots rang out, officials say they tried administering medical aid. Hinton was struck twice and died. Investigators saying this gun was recovered from the scene allegedly found in Hinton's possession. On Friday, a day after that shooting and 2 hours after the Hinton family reviewed the body camera footage, according to the family's lawyer, a driver crashing a car into a Hamilton County deputy directing traffic near a commencement ceremony, killing him. The suspect, authorities say, is Ryan Hinton's father, Rodney Hinton Jr. Hinton's attorney calling the officer's death a horrific tragedy. At his first court appearance today, Hinton walked through a room packed with law enforcement. He's now charged with aggravated murder. The Hamilton County Sheriff says the deputy's death was a tremendous loss. Hinton Jr. is currently being held on no bail. His bond hearing scheduled for Tuesday.
Okay. Mr. Man says, sub Empress, happy Mother's Day and keep it. Oh, yeah. Happy Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day. Now, it goes without saying that the son clearly was either up to no good or was with the wrong crowd. Which either way, unfortunately, who you choose to be around is going to be how you're judged. So we not even try to justify any possibility of him being just some innocent bystander in the situation. He either was with them doing stuff or he was hanging with the wrong crowd, either one. Now, the father's actions reacting this way, even though your son is hanging out with this type of group, is not ever going to be justified because of the group he was hanging around. And it actually points to the volatile nature that you may have put into your son, where if he's running around with guns on him and stolen vehicles, it's like, this don't look well for you at all. Now, I am going to get to the family, though. Richmond said them black officers held Rodney down in court. That's what I did notice that. There was also one, let me see if I can find it. In the elevator, I got a video. Here you go. In the elevator, the cop made sure he didn't leave him in there with the other white officer.
Black officer refuses to leave Rodney Hinton alone in elevator with 3 white officers.
As you can see, he won't leave them in there with just the with Rodney alone. So that's respect. Shout out to him. Regardless if you agree with his actions or not, at least allow him to get fair treatment. But this right here, and all these officers that showed up in court, and they all look at him in his eyes as he passed and walked past them, and he looked them dead in their eye with a very defiant look. And once again, this type of action just ain't gonna bode well for him. I think he already know he gone. Let's be honest. They're gonna send him up the creek already. It's over. And then I got another one. So that's the family. I'm gonna say this. We all know this, that a lot of times the tone of a family is set by whoever we consider the patriarch. They kind of set the tone for the family and how they're gonna react to certain things. Like you'll notice, and this is not a shot, a lot of times when you see these shootings happen, and there's an immediate attempt to try and file some civil case to get some money. A lot of times those situations are the mother and father are there, but they're normally not married a lot of times, or they're not together at all. This is one of those instances where I don't know if he's with the mother or not, and the other family members up there that close, but they riding the way he rode. So once again, not justifying the actions, but his willingness to immediately go and get some get back as he thought he was doing, eye for an eye. His family is riding with him completely. Virginia said, I am not going to judge the father and will just say, in an unjust, unfair world, glad to finally witness some eye for an eye patterns emerging. And I think that's the reason why he's getting so much support from the public. From the people he's getting support from, should I say. Is because, once again, you can not agree with his decision to go and kill someone else who has nothing to do with it. But it turned into a us versus you meaning police versus civilian. That now that you did something to us, quote unquote, the civilian, it justifies anything I do to y'all, the police. And the reaction to his defiance to go against what the power in this country, which is the police, one of the powers in this country, it's a lot different than from the guy who killed the CEO of the insurance company. When he killed a guy cold blood and early in the morning, and you see all the support and attention he's gaining because he's going against the structure of the system that's affected people and cost people all this other stuff. And it's like, well, and we're gonna get to another case that just happened with the cops in I think it's in Memphis. The 3 police officers that killed Tyree, they got off, and it makes sense when you see stuff like this why people would justify it. When you see these cops do crazy stuff on video, because of this situation when it happened with him, people are posting all type of old videos and content of police doing crazy stuff and getting slaps on the wrist, nothing happening to them. So you're in a system where people are justifying this because they don't think there's no real punishment to this, what's supposed to be the authority. Mr. Man said, watch his brother in the hallway. Keeper says, this is such an unfortunate situation. The son and the father are gone. Also likely someone who had nothing to do with his son's killing. Is sad. And that's another part of it. The police officer's family. Now, I don't know his record or, all the other stuff, his possible record in the police and what he's done or been accused of by civilians, but his family's going to feel like we didn't do anything. Maybe he was one of those cops that went by the books and just minded his business. But, as some people say, what's it called? ACAB, all cops are bastards. Some people just don't care. If you're a cop, they don't trust you, they don't like you, they hate you. Mr. Man said those 3 cops aren't going to get off on the federal charge. Yeah. It's just the state charges. They just beat the state charges, which is why I think they beat the state charges because they're already guilty of this federal. Let's see. Let me show this.
Marlon, I'm Ryan cousin.
This is his cousin speaking.
My condolences to everybody involved in this. I want to say, Ryan, I'm so sorry. God, please watch over the rest of my family. I want to address all the negativity and saying he was something being a stolen car, this and that. Listen, he was supposed to be at home that night and shit. Let me get this out. He had no business being on a stolen car, man. He had a bed to come home to. He slept in a car. He couldn't get in the house. All right.
Couldn't get in the house.
He called me like 6-9 times, like 2012 or 1. Called me trying to get in. Text me. And I was asleep. Ryan, I'm so sorry. This was never supposed to happen to you. Ever. I'm so sorry, Ryan. I'm so sorry, Ryan. Just know he wasn't supposed to be there. He wasn't supposed to be there. He wasn't. He was scared. He tripped and fell. He must have been so scared. I'm so sorry, Ryan. Just that, like, everybody that's talking shit about him, just know he wasn't supposed to be there, y'all. I'm sorry.
So did you hear from the cousin's words that the son was not supposed to be there in the car, that he had nowhere to sleep, and that he tried calling him and texting him, but he wasn't awake. So he was only there for that reason. I don't know, man. It's a sad story all around. Mr. Smith says, but what about the cop that killed Rodney's son? Is he getting arrested? Well, that's the thing. We hear nothing about it because now all the attention is on Rodney Hinton Jr. It's on the father now, and what's going to happen with him. I don't even know if there's been an investigation kicked off. I would imagine it have. There's automatically if there's some type of police shooting, there's automatic internal investigation about what happened. But that's not even going to be the main story anymore. At least not right now. Maybe in a week or two, when people start trying to continue the possible legal defense for Rodney, they'll bring up the shooting, obviously, of his son, and was it justified, and what are we going to do with him? And this is probably why he decided to do this, because he didn't think he would get real justice. So we'll see if he put more of a light on it in a week or so. Foreign exchange. This is going to be a Netflix movie, probably. Although in this society, it might hit Tubi first. Honestly, it might hit Tubi first. But unfortunate story. But I want to get to another part of this.
You can't even go into that neighborhood, Mr. Bennett.
I want to get to another part of this. Rodney Hinton Jr. case. After GoFundMe apology, Give, Send, Go set up for murder accused. So they tried to set up a GoFundMe for him for his legal defense and stuff. And they shut it down immediately because on GoFundMe, you cannot set up an account for somebody who committed a violent crime. So Give, Send, Go, the same place you can find the Carmelo Anthony donation. You could donate to Carmelo Anthony through that. They allowed it because they said they want free speech. And I said it with that Carmelo Anthony story. No offense. But there's many a times I've seen people in these viral stories, black, ask for donations and they don't quite get as much as you think they would get. I remember a few years ago when the black police officer in New Orleans came out against what happened to an innocent person shot, and she got no real support. She got she didn't get as much support as we should have given her for taking a stand against her, going against the blue wall pretty much. Saw the same thing in Georgia when a black police officer, just like the black woman in New Orleans, a black male police officer did the same thing in Georgia. Not much support either. But now I'm seeing $200,000, $300,000, $400,000, $500,000, $600,000 being donated, and I'm just skeptical. Ashley said, "Time out. I thought that Father Hinton Sr. killed the cop who shot his son." No, that's what everybody else thought. That's what we all thought in the beginning. Turns out it was an off-duty sheriff deputy that he ran over. Well, I'm not gonna say off-duty. That was the rumor. I don't know if he was off-duty, but it was a sheriff deputy who had nothing to do with the shooting of his son that he killed. Which is why it changed a lot of people's opinion of the whole story. Because if he killed a cop that killed his son, I don't know. I think most people would disagree with it from a legal standpoint, but from just a father-son standpoint, I think most people would have been like, I don't agree, but I understand. But then when you kill somebody who had nothing to do with it, wasn't even on the scene, it's like, you kind of was reckless. Well, not kind of, you were reckless. But yeah. Supporting Rodney Hinton Jr. This is a GoFundMe setup. Give, Send, Go setup because GoFundMe won't allow it. He's raised $38,000 here. But the family set up another one. I saw another one that had $300,000. I don't know if it's legit or not, but I did see another one set up that had over $300,000. And the reason why I titled this GoFundMe Money Wars, as you can see, this is why I'm talking about how his commissary is so full, you can't give him more money in his commissary. It's because this story right here, I think Mr. Man brought this up earlier. A woman who called a black child a slur has raised backlash, but also tons of money. So, a Caucasian woman at a park called a young black child, who, if I'm not mistaken, is autistic. I'm not 100% sure. I'm seeing a lot of people say he's autistic. Got into a whole verbal altercation where she was talking, and she called him the N-word, and she stuck a middle finger up and all this other stuff. And then, out of nowhere, she decided, because it went viral, and there's a lot of backlash is coming, she decides to set up a GoFundMe because she needs to be protected from racial hate, which I found funny. And she raised over $1 million. I seen all the white people donating to her campaign saying, because they kept bringing up Carmelo Anthony. They kept defending her quote-unquote free speech and donating money to her because people donated money to Carmelo Anthony after he killed someone. So I want to show. Jenny says his lawyer hopefully will make a case for mental illness and crime of passion as hitting wrong cop on impulse is definitely off. Rip to the innocent. Agreed. Her name was Shiloh Hendricks. That's the white woman. But this is the mother of the little boy. Now, at this point, it says she raised over $600K, but it's over $1 million now. Now, she's going after the account. She don't want the money to ever see the white woman. They did freeze the account. As far as last time I checked, yesterday, she cannot access the money, and the money can't be refunded as of yet. So if $1 million is just sitting somewhere, and they gave her for calling a little boy the N-word. Ashley said she raised money on a Christian platform. It's not GoFundMe. I forgot the name of it. Oh, I got it right here. It's cash. It's Give Send Go. I think I have the actual. Yeah, this is the website. This is for Rodney Hinton Jr. But because Give Send Go, when you go to it and try to, it doesn't pop up anymore. Her campaign don't pop up anymore because they froze it, so you can't see it. This Give Send Go is the website. Mitchell said just like the white chick on Piers Morgan, she a grifter. I seen her a few months ago. I think I brought her up before, but she just say nigga. She never say nigger. She say nigga to antagonize. She's trying to grift. The white dudes that support her found out she's a single mother and started accusing her of having a child with a black man, and it's a whole grift that she's trying to pull off, and she's gonna have to continue to go further to prove to them that she is who she says she is, and at some point she's going to back out. Ashley says the comments from all the people who donated to his sick woman is insane. And also, did you guys hear that this white woman is married to a black man? The woman who said that, the N-word, because I've seen her kids, the 2 kids she had with her were white. Ah, man. Please, God. Please, God. Don't let her be with no. Oh, no. Don't do it. Don't do that. I hope that's not true. But a video shows a Minnesota woman at a playground last week openly admitting to using a racist slur against a black child and garnered millions of views. But what's being equally appalling from some is that the woman has raised hundreds of thousands of dollars in crowd funds. This is it right here. I think Shiloh Hendricks give Send Go donations filled with racist Nazi references. This is the woman here. Foreign said, I saw her too. It's for money. Piers Morgan played her. Yeah, he's just trying to get her to say stupid shit. And then in the next 4 years, when the public talk change a little bit, because right now the tides are just swinging left and right. That whole free speech and what support you get. Trump in office, so you can talk crazy on that right wing, far right side, and you'll get some financial support. In 4 years, all those videos will exist, and she'll do something to try and change her public image. Same thing Candace Owens did. Ashley said, I saw it on IG. I don't know how true it is, but if you give me your IG, I can DM it to you. I hope that ain't true. But this is the woman here who did it. I hate this. Let's be honest. If I look at this woman, my first reaction would have been that she's probably on drugs. I saw a lot of people calling her a meth head and all that stuff. How you got these white people supporting a meth head saying the N-word. As she said, honestly, sometimes when I see these stories, it feels like a psyop. That's where I think this is. Actually, they love to do shit like to provoke us and distract us from what they're really doing. That's why I keep bringing up the money. I said with Carmelo Anthony, I think that there's people outside of this that are putting money in both of those accounts. The Austin Metcalf, the victim in that situation, and Carmelo Anthony. And then we see this story. I don't think these white people are just giving her money for saying the N-word. They just don't make sense. I know white people can be pieces of shit too, but it just don't. It seemed like all of this is to antagonize. I keep saying it. When did black people start going band for band with white people? When did we begin to use money to flex power? When we start doing that as a group? Like, no offense, we just don't move that way consistently. Instead, we do stuff where we pull money away from things. We say we're going to not go to a store or not shop at some retail store or something. We don't normally donate this type of money. That's why I believe that there's money being funded from outside, from third party, to antagonize. We've been saying it since the year started, since Trump got in office. They want people in the streets. And when they did that whole Trump protest across the country, it didn't get no media coverage. Because the right people wasn't in the street. The right cause wasn't in the streets. No one cares that you don't like Trump. Regardless if you hate what he's doing right now with the economy, what he's doing with foreign policy, No one cares that you don't like him and protest him in the street. You did it when you didn't have a reason. You did it last time he was in office. You were doing it when Biden was in office. Now that you might have a real reason to be protesting him, you did it so much now, you cry wolf. It's no point. We're sick of it. So they need a particular group to be in the streets. And I don't want to say they're trying to start a race war, but it needs something racial to happen to do whatever they have planned for the rest of the year. Virginia says, I saw a photo that does allegedly favor her kissing a black man, but some are saying it's not her. But somehow one tried to, I don't know, one tattoo her via another relative, perhaps. Not surprising regarding name calling. Kiva says she looks like she lives in Tacoma. Aroma in Tacoma. Kiva says it's a cyber sure. Siri, not okay. Siri, okay. But yeah, I think that money is being used because people are complaining about the economy, and you got people donating this type of money. It's not adding up. But what else was next? Oh yeah, this is the GoFundMe. Sorry, yeah, the GoFundMe for the 5-year-old who's in the video. This is the one that has almost 400K so far. But yeah, and that's not the little boy in the video. Mitchell said the Irish white redheads think they black. Oh, you see the Irish, since Sinners came out, the Irish people been going back and forth with the people who live in Ireland, and they've been saying that they ain't the same. You ain't real Irish because you're not in Ireland. You don't actually celebrate the culture. You're American. So man, that language is starting to spread to other demographics all of a sudden. I've seen the same thing happen with a quote unquote Indian diaspora. Kendrick concerts be sending the change for a lot of young people all over the world. Hey man, we'll see. Let's see what else we got. Oh yeah, speaking of Give, Send, Go, as Ashley brought up earlier, the person who created it is more of a Christian evangelical right winger. I don't like using that right winger thing, but I guess you would consider him that based off the politics he's shown. Virginia says Redacted Podcast claims to have proof this is a psyop. I believe it is. I don't have any proof. I'm just my discernment is telling me this don't make sense. There's a GoFundMe every month now for something that happened that's going viral. People ain't got no money, so how they just donating? And when do people start running to GoFundMe for every cause? It's really, the real psyop to me is coming from the so-called white end of this. Because they're finding any reason to give somebody money. Are you giving somebody, why would her, talking about the Shiloh woman, why would her first instinct after that viral video be to create a GoFundMe to get money? That don't make sense. You would go 0 dark 30, you would just not post on social media, delete everything, or just not post, or just stand on and mind your business. Who convinced you that you should ask for money? I don't believe it. Keep says that's Soros money. Hey. Then he stepped down from something recently. I can't remember. I know the World Economic Forum, that guy who Klaus Schwab, how you say his name, he stepped down from the World Economic Forum. Ashley said it's got George Soros written all over this, just like Black Lives Matter and Antifa. Yeah. But yeah, Give, Send, Go CFO defends donations to controversial campaigns. CFO says site supports freedom of speech. Company hosts fundraising efforts for Carmelo Anthony. Give, Send, Go says they are countering cancel culture. Minnesota mom raised over 700K, like it says over $1 million now, after calling child racial slur. Henderson raised nearly $1 million for expenses. She said are to protect her family from public outrage. Wells defended Hendricks, saying her words were not unprovoked by the child. Wait, what? The child did something for you to use a racial slur? Come on, man. Shiloh is going to a dark moment. Just as much as this other family is. We want to be in all of these moments. So this is just his way of trying to get his platform to be bigger and try to overtake GoFundMe as the go-to platform. And we want everybody. The same thing, that website, what's the name of that website that everybody was going to at one point, and they kind of kind of plateaued and nobody used it that much. I forgot the name of it. He also said the outrage over the racial slurs were mob mentality, which he said was ruining so many people's lives over the past several years. Give, Send, Go has also hosted fundraising efforts for the family of Carmelo Anthony, a teen who allegedly fatally stabbed a high school athlete in Texas. The family is raising money for legal fees and housing costs and has already got more than $350,000 in donations. He deserves the presumption of innocence until proven guilty in court of law, just like everyone does, Wells said. Wells says his company platform is free, but that they make money by asking users to donate to them as well. Ashley said, guarantee this woman was hired and paid to orchestrate this event is giving crisis actor. I did see as well, the initial response was that the little boy was Somalian. Or at least East African. I saw a lot of people say that first. And yeah, it might be a situation where both sides of this are in on it. I don't know. I agree, actually. That might be what it is. Virginia says the white guy said white people have been fed up since OJ and that the real racists are black people who are also the privileged ones, according to white anger. Oh, yeah. Like I said, the more you see these white people in the streets, which this is a form of that, donating to this campaign, it's just them, the tides haven't turned, but they're now falling to the same state that black people have been in, where you feel powerless to the system. And instead of acknowledging that the system is broken, or at least it's not working for them anymore, they're going to just blame you. That's how this place is going to collapse at some point. When they finally turn and say everything is your fault. And they're going to turn, every group, when this world crumbles, is going to turn to black people and say it's y'all fault. Been getting kicked for the last couple of 100 years, but it's your fault that everything is failing. But anyway. And they still ain't got over OJ, have they? He's still not over OJ.